Okay, listen, I'm not the type of guy who buys into all that supernatural crap, ghosts, hauntings, whatever. I've always been more of a science kind of person, rational explanations for everything, especially since I'm studying engineering in college. But this one experience I had a couple years back when I first moved out on my own, it still messes with my head sometimes. I mean, I try to laugh it off now, but back then, it had me second guessing every shadow in the hallway. Anyway, I'm Jordan, by the way, Jordan Hale, and I'm telling you this like it's the first time I've really spilled the details to anyone, so bear with me if I ramble a bit. It all went down in this high-rise apartment building in Seattle, right when I was 19 and finally getting my own place for college. Exciting stuff, right? Independent living, no roommates bossing me around, just me and my backpack full of textbooks. So picture this, the building's one of those tall, kind of modern ones downtown with like 20 floors or something, all glass and metal on the outside, but inside it's got that lived-in feel, scuffed walls, buzzing lights, the works. I snagged a unit on the 12th floor, nothing fancy, just a studio with a bed, a mini kitchen, and a view of the city that made late-night studying bearable. I'd crash there after classes, hit the library till midnight sometimes, then drag myself home on the bus. The elevator was my lifeline, this metallic box with reflective walls that made you feel like you were staring at infinite versions of yourself, and those glowing floor buttons that lit up all blue and eerie. It was reliable at first. Ding, doors open, up I go. But after a few weeks, things started getting weird in little ways that I kept brushing off. Like, I'd press 12 and the thing would just stop on some random floor, say the 7th, which I knew was mostly empty because the building had some vacancies. Doors would slide open and there'd be nothing, just this dim hallway light flickering a bit, empty corridors stretching out, no people, no sounds. I'd stand there for a second, heart picking up a tad, feeling this slight chill creep in, like the air from outside was sneaking through. But come on, it's an old building, right? Probably just a glitch in the system, some wiring issue or whatever. I'd hit the close button, doors shut, and we'd keep going. Happened a couple times that first month, once on the 5th floor, another on the 9th, and each time I'd tell myself, nah, it's nothing, Jordan, don't be that paranoid freshman who freaks over elevators. I even joked about it with my neighbor, this older lady named Mrs. Elena Vargas who lived across the hall. She was cool, always baking these killer empanadas and leaving some for me. I ran into her in the lobby one morning and I was like, "Hey Mrs. V, you ever notice the elevator acting up, stopping on floors nobody called?" She just laughed, waved her hand like it was no big deal. "Oh mijo, this place has its quirks. Old pipes, echoes everywhere, probably just the wind or something settling." Yeah, that made sense. Buildings make noises, especially high-rises with all that height and drafts. I felt better after that, like I wasn't losing it. But still, those stops left me with this nagging unease, Like, why that chill every time? Why did it feel like the hallway was watching me back through those open doors? It wasn't like I was scared or anything, at least not at first. I mean, college life was hectic enough without inventing ghosts. I'd get home late, microwave some ramen, crash on my bed with the city lights buzzing outside my window. But then, a couple days after that chat with Mrs. V, it escalated in a way that still gives me goosebumps when I think about it. This was one of those nights where I'd pulled an all-nighter at the library, cramming for a calc exam, backpack slung over my shoulder, eyes burning from staring at screens. It was probably around 1 a.m., building dead quiet, nobody around. I hit the elevator button in the lobby, step in, press 12. The doors close, that familiar hum starts, and I'm zoning out, staring at my reflection in the shiny walls. Messy brown hair, tired eyes, the usual. We're going up past a few floors, and then it just stops, not on 12 but on 7 again, that same empty floor. Doors slide open slow, like they're hesitating, revealing that dim hallway light, the kind that's yellow and weak, casting long shadows on the carpet. Empty as always, no doors opening down the hall, no footsteps, nothing. I mutter to myself, "Great again," and reach for the close button, figuring it's the glitch. But then I hear it, a soft echo, like footsteps padding on the carpet, coming from way down the corridor. At first, it's faint, almost like it could be my imagination, or maybe water in the pipes like Mrs. V said. I freeze, hand hovering over the button, listening. Thump, thump, getting louder, closer, deliberate, like someone's walking straight toward the elevator but taking their sweet time. My heart starts pounding in my chest. This static chill runs up my arms, making the hairs stand up. I squint into the hallway. Nothing there, just shadows on the floor, maybe looking a bit like footprints if I stare too hard, but no actual person, no shape, no nothing. The steps keep coming, louder now, echoing off the walls, closer, like whatever it is could step right in with me any second. I back up against the wall, backpack digging into my shoulder, breath catching. This isn't real, I whisper to myself, trying to rationalize. Maybe it's someone on another floor, sound carrying weirdly through the vents. But no, it's too clear, too directed at me. The air feels heavier, colder, like a draft from an open window that isn't there. And just as the footsteps sound like they're right at the threshold, boom, they stop. Abrupt, total silence. The doors finally close on their own, like nothing happened, and the elevator lurches back up. I'm shaking the whole way to 12, staring at those glowing buttons like they betrayed me. When I get out, I bolt to my door, fumbling the keys, and once inside, I slam it shut, lean against it, heart still racing. You might think I'm exaggerating, but dude, that feeling, like something invisible had been heading straight for me and now it was following me up, I couldn't shake it. I paced my tiny apartment, lights on full blast, telling myself over and over it was just echoes, building, settling, stress from exams messing with my head. But deep down, that chill lingered, like a presence had hitched a ride. The next morning, I couldn't let it go. I had to talk to someone. I knocked on Mrs. V's door, probably looking like a wreck with my uncombed hair and backpack ready for class. She invites me in for coffee, all grandmotherly, and I spill it. The stop on 7, the footsteps coming closer, the way they cut off. She's quiet for a sec, stirring her mug, then nods. I've heard things like that too, Jordan. Faint noises in the halls at night, like steps echoing. But it's an old building, mijo. Sounds bounce funny here, especially with all the empty units. Probably just the structure groaning or wind in the shafts. She even laughs a little, pats my arm like I'm a kid scared of the dark. And yeah, part of me buys it. Makes sense, right? No visual proof, no ghost popping out, just my overactive brain. But as I head out, thanking her, that doubt creeps back. Why did it feel so targeted? Why the chill that followed me all the way to my door? For the rest of the day, in lectures, I'd zone out, replaying those steps in my head, trying to convince myself it was nothing. That night, I took the stairs up to 12, screw the elevator, panting by the time I got there, but at least no stops. No echoes. Still, in the quiet of my unit, I'd swear I heard faint thumps in the hallway outside like something pacing. Coincidence? Maybe the neighbors or pipes again. I rationalized it away, Blasted some music to drown it out, but sleep? Yeah, that was rough. Look, it didn't happen again. Not like that core night anyway. The elevator kept up its random stops here and there, doors opening to empty floors, that dim light mocking me, but no more footsteps, no more approaching echoes. I'd stand there, tense, waiting, heart in my throat, but nothing. Still, the unease stuck around like a bad habit. I'd avoid going out late, opt for the stairs even if it killed my legs, and in my apartment, those quiet moments, I'd feel it, this invisible weight, like something was lingering just out of sight, following me from that elevator ride. I even dug into the building's history online one night, scrolling through old articles, but nada, no tragic deaths, no haunted lore, just boring permits and renovations. Probably all in my head, stress from college piling up, making me paranoid. But you tell me, why did those shadowy hints on the floor outside the doors stick in my memory like that? Why did Mrs. V's confirmation make it worse instead of better? It got to the point where, after that semester, I bailed, found a sublet closer to campus, packed my stuff in a hurry, and got the hell out. Never looked back, but sometimes, even now in my new place, if I'm in an elevator alone at night and it jerks funny, I get that same chill. Like, what if it stops, doors open, and those footsteps start up again? I don't know, man. Maybe it was nothing, just echoes, like she said. But it felt real, too real, and it's left me with this lingering dread that something unseen is always a step behind. If you're ever in a high-rise like that, dismissing weird sounds, don't. It might be following you too.